Hey guys, it's Mr. Wolfie, and I just wanted to talk to you for a minute about horror in general, and the way that horror has been handled lately. I mean, people run this into the ground. People complain about video games and movies just erring on the side of gore over legitimately scary movies. And there have been some examples of some good stuff that is breaks the mold and goes back to the original formula of being actually forebodingly scary, because the foreboding, the pre-fear, the rush that you get after something scary happens, usually exhibited by jump scares in video games and movies, that's all fine and good, but you can't just use that and utilize that as the sole component of your movies without it being, you know, it gets hackneyed and it gets boring and it stops being scary after the first few times. So, I mean, that's whatever. You throw a few in there, perfect. That's actually good because it's the culmination of everything that the build-up has been trying to get to. The build-up is what should make something scary, and it's why, I get all this because I was playing Silent Hill Downpour, and then I was watching videos about Silent Hill Downpour, including the real Silent Hill experience videos about it and things like that, and it just got me to thinking about how poorly handled horror is later on in the series, and not just the series of Silent Hill, but other games in general. Very few games actually embrace the build-up of fear as a medium, and the build-up, the tension that's around not knowing if something terrible is going to happen or when it's going to happen. Well, you know it's going to happen, or you're under the impression it's going to happen because it plays on your what you know about how things scare people, and things scare people by all of a sudden surprising them, or just being creating a situation where you are terrified to even be exposed to it. And the first several Silent Hill games, and to a very lesser degree in some instances the later ones, touched on it but didn't embrace it like they should, and I'll get to that in a second, because that's what's bothering me, and that's what I was really thinking. I was like, man, this is where we are now. This is the problem today. The build-up is designed to make you feel so on edge and stressed up until the point where the jump scare happens. And the problem is that people, there's three layers. There's, the build-up, the fear that comes from the event that the build-up has been building up to happens. It's like the build-up, then something happens, then there's that layer of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then there's, like, gore and violence on the other end of the spectrum. And the problem is that most things these days like to start at the end of the build-up, jump right to something going on, then go across the reaction to what's going on, then utilize the gore and violence, or flip the entire script and have the gore and violence be what's the event that causes the fear. And the problem with that is that gore and violence in and of itself is not that scary. It makes people feel revulsion and maybe fear if they are afraid of violence as a general rule, but most people are desensitized to violence at this point because of years of TV and video games, and not desensitized to violence in real life, but desensitized to violent images in a visual medium, which is why, gore games for the sake of gore. I don't like gore for the sake of gore. I don't like it in movies, video games. I don't even like it in books. Nothing. It doesn't cause the reaction that the apparently uninformed creators and developers think it's going to cause, in me at least, and in most people, I think, because they kind of agree on these topics, and this has been run into the ground 100 times, so I know it's what I'm talking about there, because a lot of this you've probably heard from somebody else in a different way. But the real problem, I guess, comes from what I would call gore fanboys and fangirls, but just gore fans in general. People that are like gore as a concept and violence as a concept in their visual mediums. And there's explanations for that. I think it's, no sane person wants to see this kind of stuff in real life, but seeing it in a fantasy setting, they kind of get this, oh, well, this is interesting. I will take part in this so I don't have to get my hands dirty in real life, because it's like, wow, I'm so fascinated by this visual imagery that I'm seeing. This person just got thrown into a wood chipper. That's awesome. But I think you really have to consider the psychological stability of someone who says something or believes this person just got thrown into a wood chipper and that's awesome. It's a little, there may be something going on there. Hey, my lizard's finally eating spinach. There might be something going on there. You know what I mean. It's hard to say something without it. Because at the end of the day, liking gore and liking violence, that's not a bad thing. It's just hobbyist stuff. You like stuff like The Walking Dead. There's a lot of violence. It's pretty cool because it's like, oh, metal. And that's cool, but just liking it for the sake of it and saying this is where I want horror to go, that's stupid because it's not scary. A movie that is good, a movie can be good and have the gore and violence aspect and the overuse of the jump scares and all that stuff and still be a solid good movie if the right components are in place. A movie that is only gore and that's in violence and jump scares, if it doesn't have the right feel, the right build up, the right story to hold it together, the right, a lot goes into it. It's not just take a chunk out of this section and throw it in a movie and it's a good movie. That cannot be a good movie inherently by itself. It cannot. I dare you to name a single movie that is only gore and violence without any story, without anything else that is even remotely entertaining to watch, that's not just some kind of weird, creepy, X-rated smut film thing that nobody in their right mind is watching. But you can definitely have great movies. The best movies are from the original, the first section. And then there's a lot of good movies with the jump scare element and things because they utilize chunks of both, and then they have that. It can work. I just don't think there's anything good that can come out of just that. I don't like games or movies or anything like that because it just gets boring to me, and I'm just sitting there like, ugh. Why am I blowing limbs off of stuff for no apparent reason other than to be like, look how edgy we are. We got shotguns that can blow the legs off of big mutant zombie people, like the latter Resident Evils and the Dead Spaces and stuff like that. It's just, ugh, I don't like it. I don't care about it. It's not that I'm afraid of it. It's not nothing. Like, I can do it and just sit there like, ah, so boring and dumb. But a game like, perfect example, the Fatal Frame games. Very little gore and violence. It's like ghosts. They're already dead. I mean, that's all the violence you really get, and then they, can harm you, but there's not like, they're not slicing you in half with a great knife like in friggin' Homecoming. They're, it's the buildup. It's, you walk around in this dark, scary place by yourself, and you're literally terrified to go into the next room because what could possibly be there? And then there's nothing there, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I was scared for nothing, but you're still, you go into the next room, and there's nothing there, and you're like, okay, this is getting safe, and you're still, but you're like more confident about things. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere you would have expected it, but completely logical to the atmosphere and the story and everything that the game is presenting, not just like they used to do on all the Amnesia videos where it was just like, boom, and it was like popped up like a big freaking mutant thing like, and it would scream at you. That's stupid. I hate that. It was good stuff. It was a ghostly hand came from behind the wall and slammed something shut, and you're just like, ah! Because you're so freaking tense and on the edge of your seat. It's brilliant. That is how you do scary. That's how you do it in movies, video games, everything. You build it up, and then you have this epic, well-executed final release of this is what you've been afraid of the whole time. And there it is. And perfect. It's perfect. Do that. Stop doing the gore for the sake of gore that's not scary and doesn't have any build up to the gore and it's just, oh look how terrifying we are. We're ripping things skins off and chopping up limbs and you know, and you can't just have jump scares like in the Amnesia custom games and half the freaking indie games that come out that are horror, because you know all that stuff is the fault of Let's Players playing video games and just screaming like ah, because they won't. People make those things because they want the reaction videos from people that have like billions of fans, or well, millions. Surely nobody's got billions yet, but anyway, they want those reaction videos because that boosts sales of their game. It gets attention to them. It makes them rich. They're using people screaming. They're making these crappy things to make people have reaction videos so that they can get money to make more stuff that's just the same thing. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's. It sort of does the build up and then the execution, and it works, but it's really just built on jump scares at the same time. And it worked very good the first time, maybe even the second time, but there's like five Nights at Freddy's now or something. I don't even know. It's just done, man. You gotta come up with another idea that uses the same. I'm not scared by robot bears anymore. I guess I am. I'm just whoa, because there it is. Boom! It's in my face. It's scary, but it's stupid at the same time. Just come up with original ideas, and people will be more apt to enjoy it. But it all goes back to that the real problem with horror video games is jump scares and gore over atmosphere and build up and the true components to what a person is afraid of. And that's not jump scares. Everybody's going to jump at a jump scare unless they have seen it before, or unless they just have absolutely they're just stone-faced, they don't react to anything, and they're, and that doesn't just happen naturally. A lot of people have to, a lot of people that don't jump at videos on these games on YouTube and stuff, they've played it before and built up an immunity to the circumstance, and then they're trying to do it to be cocky and funny. Because pretty much everybody is wearing headphones in the dark, staring at a screen. When something pops up on the screen, they're going to at least go, that's so funny. It's not. It's stupid. And the only people that think that's funny are like 8-year-olds. The problem is that these people are driving the machine that is pumping out mass-produced crap in video games, and I'm tired of it. Yeah. So, I don't really know. I guess that's the end of that one. I don't really know what to do. Anyway, guys, peace out. This has been Mr. Wolfie. I love you guys.